Gorilla comm going 10-8. What's up, guys? I'm gearing up here to do an overnighter here locally, going up a significant hill. Not too significant. So the elevation of the mountain that I'm going to is 4,800 feet high, and from the trailhead it's going to be a 1,200 feet climb for myself, going up to that mountain, then billy goating down back into a pickup spot down in town. I think the whole trip is going to be maybe 14 miles between the 2 days or the overnighter, but that would tell me all I need to know about this pack, see if it's comfortable. Right now I did some changes to my kit, and for a regular base weight I have 24 pounds and 4 ounces. I'm bringing my winter load, so that bumped it up to 26 pounds. That's everything, pack included. The big 3 is 9 pounds and 1 ounce for the big 3. The pack itself weighs 3 pounds and 7 ounces with the selection bags. Actually, probably a little bit less now because I'm using this pack. I was going to use the 35 liter bag here, but I wanted the bulk and more stuff to put in it to weigh it down, because I'm not going to hike 26 pounds up there. I actually want to hike 50 to replicate what I'm used to with the Alice pack and the ILBE. So 50 pounds, or roughly 55 pounds, is a benchmark for me to kind of see how it feels, to see if this bag is all that cracked up to be. So I have to make up a good 24 pounds to make it an even 50. So to do that without adding much bulk to this here, I could add on a bunch of luxuries and everything, but it's just going to fill up to the brim and not tip over. I still wanted a small sort of package on my back, relatively. So I'm going to use river rock here, the rock of truth. These two combined weighs 27 pounds, and I have my kids there decorated real nicely there. So the rock of truth is going to make up the difference, and the base weight is bumped up to 55 pounds, not including water, fuel, and food. There's no water up there, so I'm going to have to pack up all my water. So I got 3 liters here in this source hydration pack, and then I'm going to bring all these guys here just to put out the fire up there. Hopefully I'll make a campfire up there, and I need some water up there just to put it out before I leave camp. Don't want to leave any hot embers up there smoldering throughout the night. It's almost that season. Okay, so that's the story there. I'll be testing out some kit up there and all sorts of fun, except for the hiking back, but we'll see how that goes. Well, there she is, maiden voyage ready, and the total weight of this loadout is 67 pounds. Excessive, I know, but that's the whole point. I wanted to test this out to my utmost limit. Most of the weight here is water and rocks. Remember, I have the rock of truth in there, plus some extra water, because the site that I'm going to has no running water anywhere. So in the backyard it rides comfortably, but the backyard is totally different than 5 miles down the road going through a wooded area. So that's the whole idea of this whole trip here, is to test it under that condition. Bye. Here's the drop off. That's it. I didn't plan this, but it's raining. That's good. That'll test the waterproofness of this pack here. So I had to break out the rain gear, and it's time to go uphill. So I couldn't plan this any better. Some people may be like, oh man, this is horrible, let's not do this. But I'm like, yeah, make it suck more. Alright, my destination, 4.2 miles away at this blank mountain lookout. Alright guys, Let's hit it. Well guys, this is my first major stop so I could shed some rain gear, because it's drizzling off and on here. But I think I'm getting more wet from sweat than I am from rain, so I'm just going to keep the top on. I took the bottoms off and I got it stored in there now, in the outside pocket conveniently, so that's working out right. It's raining and you can hear it come down now, and I don't have no pack cover to this, so I'll let you know if any of the contents inside are wet. I doubt it, because this is a dry bag, but I don't have to do anything. I don't have to stop and put a cover on this. This is waterproof, and I don't have nothing water. It's mesh, but I got the rain pants and a medical kit that's in a dry bag, so that's all I got in there. So far, after 2 miles, is riding really well. The 67 pounds is riding pretty good. As good as it could get, I guess. But I don't get no cramps on my legs like I did at some other packs. Just a little bit from fatigue. Okay. Well, another quick little stop to shed some rain gear. And since the pack's been wet, the webbing is not coming loose. Some straps, when you get them wet, they come loose from the buckle here. They start to slide. But so far, this one's holding up pretty well. There's 2 sets of prints here. I want to say a small doe. And then you see this print here. Don't know what that is. Doesn't have any claw prints on there, so I'm thinking that's a mountain lion. Small one at that, or a bobcat maybe. Here's another better look at one. Well, I finally made it up here. 4.5 miles uphill, about 1,200 feet of elevation climb. The bag held up really well. It carried really well too. 67 pounds didn't feel like 67 pounds. It felt more like 50. The load didn't shift, so I wasn't off balance or anything like that. The straps held up. I got rained on, and I didn't have to put a pack cover on this because this is by nature waterproof anyway. But the straps didn't get loose. It's about the same place that I had it before, so that's good. Same here. Yeah, didn't move much at all. Didn't move any. And for about half a mile I bushwhacked uphill for a little bit, so you're seeing all these scrapes and all that stuff on the bag itself. This is the ILBE 65-liter bag, and that held up pretty well. And I was going through some really thick manzanita brush and some pine brush as well, dead stuff that would really poke a hole through this stuff here. Now that held up pretty well. The mesh bag, held up okay, and I got some debris on it from trekking through all that stuff. Pine needles all over the place. Some dirt on the bottom there where I kind of sat for a while or whatever. Hardly any abrasion, just a little bit, but the material still has its integrity. Stitching is holding up. This thing is rated to go no more than 40 pounds of base weight, so I'm pushing 27 pounds over that limit, and it held up pretty well. As far as me physically, it rode really well. Didn't get the cramps in my legs like I did with the ILBE. Let's see, what else? The straps worked really well. My traps feel really good. Hardly any soreness there. Most of the weight was on my hips, as it's supposed to be. I would say a good 50%, I would imagine. But it was hardly any effort, really. Like I said, it didn't feel like 67 pounds. And as you can see, I made it to the peak here, all in one piece. It was a bitch and a half, but it's well worth the view, for sure. Well, I'm gonna make me some lunch here, and I got the Rock of Truth here to keep me company. Yep, they're here to keep me honest. 27 pounds of pain lugging up here with me. And they're going to join me, even though I don't want any company from them, actually. But it is what it is. Well, I got the water there set for boiling. So I'll leave that alone for a bit. And early this morning, it started off raining. So I got rained on a good 2-3 times. It was scattered showers throughout the morning. And this is exactly the condition that I had the bag. All the contents inside the bag was dry. Not a lick of moisture in there. The material out here, it dried pretty quick. So that wasn't an issue at all. The straps are pretty dry now. In the mesh bag, of course, that's not waterproof or water resistant, but I have a dry bag here full of my first aid kit and a plastic bag in there and rain gear. So that's waterproof in itself, so I wasn't worried about that being drenched. But within the bag, this is my sleep system, and this is what I'm protecting at all cost. I have down, top quilt, and under quilt, so once that stuff gets wet, our value is down to almost zero. It's worthless. So I have it in another dry bag here, a heavier duty denier bag as a backup, and also to separate it from the other content, so I'll know exactly what this bag is. It's my sleep system and shelter. So all in all this stayed dry. It was good to go. So that was a good test. That was unexpected, the weather changing like that today. So to me, it's all about the campfire. That's why I go through all this ordeal, for the end result of a nice warm campfire at night. But my camp is way over there somewhere, probably 50 feet from here. There's a lot of this charred up wood that's still good, and I figure this will catch on fire a little bit quicker than regular wood that's seasoned but hasn't been charred up the way this thing does. So I'm going to transport it on the ULA EPIC bag. That little cover there is just some bullshit material that I have for whatever. And I'm going to fill it up and see how I'm going to transport this. Well, there's my stack job. So let's see if I could don that on me and bring it back in one piece. It's not the prettiest stack job, but I guess I need a little bit more practice, but we'll see what happens here. Good, I didn't drop anything. And I think this weighs 40 pounds. 30 to 40 pounds with the firewood. That worked out really well. Not spilling out. Yep, I got one night's worth of wood here. That worked out really well. Just making a defensible space. Well, next time my goal will be this peak right here. There's a lookout up there, so there's a road that goes up there, and that's pretty much farther, and it'll take a few days for me to get up there. That's going to be my next goal. Well, camp chores are done. Now I could really enjoy myself out here. It's 4 o'clock. So I'm just going to chill out for a while. My hammock is over there. I'm actually on a slope. So if this was tent camping, I would never be able to do this. But I got a nice spot right there underneath some trees. No forecast of rain is none. So I'm going to go without a tarp under the stars. I got my little fire pit here set up. This place was burnt over before, so I'm on top of an existing bed of coals here, I guess. And I got my 2 companions there, the Rock of Truth. Got the tinder ready. I'm ready for tonight. But anyway, those guys all along for the journey. 29 pounds, I think, or 27 pounds worth of dead weight to go along with the pack. And, you know, the pack is doing pretty good. I must admit, it's a keeper for me. It's comfortable. I could carry the load pretty well. It does okay on my back. I'm out of shape, so the 4.5 miles coming up here, I was struggling, especially going bushwhacking through thick vegetation there. I decided to take a shortcut. But yeah, it's doing really well. I'm extremely pleased with the performance. Don't know how well this is going to come out, but this is the best place, if any, for a bear bag. No bears are getting into my grub tonight. Well, let's see if I could get this fire the old-fashioned way. Here I got a tin with some charred material. This right here is charred punkwood. And I have a charred cloth made out of a towel. I noticed that the towels and dish towels, they catch a spark a hell of a lot better than like a t-shirt, let's say, and they last for a long time. Got it going. Now here I have my pathetic bundle. There we go. Alright, I'm really set for the night now. You guys take it easy and I'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, I made it home safely. So yesterday it was around 4.5 miles going uphill. Today was like around 8.5 miles, and it was a gradual descending route with a little bit of hills here and there, but not like yesterday. And the pack weight, I just weighed it, is weighing 60 pounds now. So I shed 7 pounds worth of water, fuel, and food. And I ate an MRE that was in there, so that was heavy. But this thing rode pretty well, I must say. So this, bottom line, is going to be a keeper. I don't think I've talked about the negatives of this. There's not many. The only negative that I have really is this strap here. sometimes the buckle will like reverse on itself, so you have to sort of ring it back onto itself the right way to make it orientate correctly, like this. Sometimes when you do the buckles or the lashing here, it'll want to do this and reverse itself. I haven't had that problems with these over here, but on the chest strap it did happen once, and it was wet too, so that probably helped it also reverse on itself. The stitching seems to be holding up really well, despite being 20 pounds overweight, past its capacity. So far, knock on wood, yeah, it's holding up pretty well. The other criticism that I have on this while using is this hydration holder here. It just comes like this, so it's only attached by these 2 points on top, 1, 2, and the rest of it is like all free like this. So sometimes when you put your pack on it, it'll tend to push it to one side, especially if you have it filled. It tends to push it to one side like that, and sort of shift your weight just slightly over to the left or right. So when I put the bag on to the pack, I have to pay attention to, you know, make sure this is directly on the middle. It's kind of hard to do, actually. So that is the only other thing that I'm not too happy about, but it's workable. And also, this pack is working out really well for me, but it gets some getting used to. It's not your regular setup. You don't have the convenient side zippers or any other way of getting in there. So you're working in is your top side up here to get all your items out. Yeah, so that's the only pretty much negatives that I have to it, but the positive is definitely overpowering the negatives for this thing here. It rides really well, so I could see myself lugging this thing for many miles down the road, unlike other packs that I've had in the past. Gorilla Comm going 10-10.